I've been thinking about the direction people give voice actors. Like, can you make it warmer or calmer or more conversational? And every time I hear that, I find myself wondering, warmer for whom? For what? Not because it's bad direction, it's actually a perfectly reasonable place to start. And for years, I thought that was the right question to start with too. But somewhere along the way, I realized that I was quietly asking and answering a different question. Not how should this sound, but what does this person need to feel? It took me a while to realize those aren't the same question. I've been wondering lately if this is another place my psychology background quietly infiltrated and followed me into the recording booth. In therapy, I rarely find myself asking, how do I want to come across? The question was almost always, what does this person need from me right now? And somewhere along the way, I realized I was bringing that same habit into the voiceover booth. And once I noticed it, I really couldn't unsee it. I guess I think about communication as happening in layers. The first layer is usually the direction we hear, like, can you make it warmer? Or can you make it sound more confident? That's a completely reasonable place to begin. But then there's another layer. What is the voice actually trying to do? Warmth as in reassure somebody, challenge someone, encourage them. But underneath all of that, there's one more question I keep coming back to. What does the listener need to experience? Because those aren't actually the same thing. Take a patient education video. Someone might say, let's make this warm. Maybe. But when I picture the person who's about to hear it, I imagine someone who's just received difficult news or a really heavy diagnosis. They're trying to remember what the doctor just said. They're wondering what happens next. They're already carrying more than this patient education video can possibly answer. Suddenly, warm doesn't feel like enough direction anymore. Maybe what they need isn't warmth. Maybe they need reassurance or steadiness when their footing feels shaky. Maybe they need someone quietly communicating, we're going to take this one step at a time. Or think about onboarding a new employee. Warmth is wonderful. It's very welcoming. But maybe what they really need is to feel like someone can help them find their footing in a new place. That someone's already thought about what might feel confusing. And that they don't have to know everything on the first day. I've realized my job isn't to perform a feeling. It's to create the conditions where the listener can experience one. That feels like a subtle difference, but I don't think it's a small one. Once I understand what someone needs to feel, the pacing usually becomes clearer, the emphasis just makes sense, the tone feels less like something I'm trying to perform, and it's a more natural reaction to the person on the other end. That's why this has become one of the questions I return to over and over again. Not how should this sound, but what does this person need to feel in order to receive this message? I found that once I can answer that, the performance takes care of itself. So if your organization is creating communication where the listener's experience really matters, and you're looking for a voice partner who's thinking about those questions from the very beginning, I'd love to help. You can learn more or send me your script at sendmyscript.com.